My proposal was roundabout. It's been a while since I proposed because normally you propose and then you get married. Beer? Yeah, I'm gonna need fucking beer for this, man. I'm gonna need fucking beer for this. But normally you propose and then you get married. My proposal was like 3, almost 4 years ago now. So it's been a long time since I proposed. So I will try to recall as much as I can. But so I've always had the place where I want to propose in mind. You know, some couples, they figure out where they want to propose. I've always known where I wanted to propose, and the place I wanted to propose to Sydney was basically the place of our first date. So, if you want to, so on our first date, we hired out a few bikes on South Bank, London, and we basically rode across the Thames River. We rode the bikes across South Bank, and that was our very first date. And I remember we would repeat that date every year. So every year on our anniversary or one kind of time, we would have a repeat of that first date, because if you've never rode around South Bank, it's a very, very nice place when it's got good weather. It's just a very, very scenic place in London. But if you ride down there long enough, there's going to be this nice little, I don't know what to call it. There's going to be a nice place where it's a bit isolated from the rest of South Bank. So there's not a big crowd there, but there's this gorgeous view of the Thames. It's like the perfect picture moment, the perfect picturesque spot, you know. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like an arch, not really an arch, but I don't know what the word is, but it's just a nice private space where you can get a nice picture with the Thames. And I remember we discovered that space by complete accident, by just riding down long enough down South Bank that we discovered this point. And from like the first day and from like the repeats of the day, I'm just like, this is the point that I'm going to propose. I already know that this is the place that I will bend the knee and propose. Like I had that planned out in my mind for years before I ended up proposing. So that was going to be the basic plan. And so when the time came, that I was going to propose, I already knew where it was going to be. I already knew where it was going to be. And so I asked Sydney for a date on her birthday. So I was going to propose on her birthday because I thought that would be a great time to propose. And I said, why not have a repeat date that we always do every year? And Sydney knowing me, she figured it out immediately. I don't know how, but as soon as she heard me propose a date on her birthday at South Bank, London, where we would rent out bikes again, she told me afterwards that she already knew. Man, like, if this was a game of, like, Wedding Among Us, I would have, like, been exposed immediately. I would have been, like, fucking voted off fucking immediately. Like, I don't know. I don't know how she did it. But as soon as I proposed the date, she already knew. I'm going to say this, that she's just a great partner and she knows her partner, because that's the high point, guys. That's the high point. I'm going to say this. Everything that could have gone wrong at a proposal probably went wrong on my proposal. Okay? From every single angle. From every single angle. So, mistake number one. So luckily she already knew, but I definitely messed up even fucking more. I'm going to say this because I know Sydney's going to like barge in and tell the story if I don't say this, right? So normally I'm a calm guy. Normally I'm a very, very, very calm guy. I'm chill. I can look at things at a logical perspective, and, you know, I'm chill about it. A week or two before the wedding, a week or two before the proposal, I suffered the worst anxiety that I've ever felt in my life, right? I've never had a panic attack or an anxiety attack or something, but I'm pretty sure several times I was so close to just like having an anxiety attack, just knowing that this was coming. And like one of my biggest fears was that the ring was not going to fit. That I'd gotten the wrong size of the ring because I knew I had like a rough estimate that I asked her like ages and ages ago. But I'm just like, what if the ring doesn't fit? What if I get on my knees and I try to put the ring on and it just doesn't get on her fingers? And so, can't believe I'd say this. And so, like in like a moment of panic, in a moment of weakness, I just like, how can I best confirm what the ring size is? So my first thought was, what if I try to like figure it out when she's sleeping or something? And I'm just like, no. Sydney like wakes up like that when I leave the bed, and then when I do anything on the bed, she's going to figure it out immediately. I'm going to wake her up. So I've got to try and find a way to measure her ring size, which I already had the ring, by the way. I just wanted to make sure from my anxiety that it was the right ring size in case I needed to change the ring size. So I was just like, I went to Sydney about 2 to 3 weeks before the proposal date. And I'm just like, yo, you know, we're like, I think she was like watching 90 Day Fiance or something like that. You know, she loves 90 Day Fiance. And I'm just like, yo, why don't we pretend that we're getting married? Lol, kek, lol, W. Why don't we play a fucking LARP? Why do we LARP our fucking marriage, lol? And so I get like a fake ring, which is which is just the string. And I'm just like, let's role play our marriage. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually fucking did that. And so of course I took the fucking, I made like a shitty fake ring using string. And I'm just like, and then we play it out, and then looking back, I can't cringe anymore in my life, because if she didn't figure it out before, that was just like, oh, this is happening now. Gant, you just told your future fiance at the time that you're going to propose. Luckily, she already figured it out to save me from the embarrassment, but that's something that she tells everyone in regards to our wedding story. But okay, so that was fuck up number one, and that was fueled by my anxiety. But so that's all that happens. It comes to the day. And it comes to the date. And so how the day goes is we start off in South Bank, and then we cycle down the river, like I said, and we get to this spot. So I thought, great, we're just going to do our normal day, and then we're going to stop at this point where we always take a picture instead. But instead, this time, I'm going to fake taking a picture, and I'm going to film it, and that's the point where I'm going to propose. Great, I got this plan in. Brilliant. It's going to go G. And so we start off on the day, and it's all great. It's all normal. Everything's going well. By the way, my heart was like about to burst out of my fucking chest. It was like, do. Like, if I didn't have a rib cage, I'm sure my heart would have just like fucking beat it out of my chest at this moment. But you know, everything was going good. It was going good. So we go down South Bank, and then there is this point where there was this point, like, I think it was like opposite Westminster Abbey. That's it. Like, it was like opposite Westminster Abbey and Big Ben. And there's a nice little shot in front of Westminster Abbey and Big Ben. And I remember us like stopping there to take a shot of us, to take like a nice little romantic date shot of us. And I remember thinking, this is actually a really nice point right now. There's not anyone here. We're in a private point, and you know, we got like the Thames River, we got Big Ben in the background. This might be a really, really good point to propose. So we set up the camera, we park the bikes, we put my phone on top of the bikes to set up like selfie mode. And then I remember like pausing for a bit to be like, should this be the moment? like, this is a really good point. Should this be the moment? And Sydney's told me, like, post that she saw, like, the gears turning in my head because she knew I was going to propose sometime that day. She knew I was going to propose sometime that day. So she saw, like, the gears turning in my head to be like, Garn's about to propose. Maybe this is the point. And I think, nah, I'm going to stick with the plan. The plan's good. This is a nice little point right here. The plan's good. I'm not going to propose here. We're just going to take a normal picture. Unfortunately, that was mistake number 2, because that should have been the point where I taken the picture. That was like God giving me a sign to be like, yo, I'm throwing you a bone here. I'm throwing you a bone. Take the bone. This is the perfect time. Take the bone. And I was like, nah, we good, man. We good. So we take the picture. It's a nice, lovely picture of us like hugging and having a nice little smooch with Big Ben in the background. And then we cycle forward. And then the day continues. And then my first inkling that something was going to go wrong was I see a bit of scaffolding on the Thames, like on the Thames a bit. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. That wasn't there before. That wasn't there before. I hope this scaffolding doesn't continue. So I hope the scaffolding doesn't continue. So, but I didn't like really pay much mind to it. We continue on. We take a few more pictures. We stop off for like a nice drink and everything like that. There's this nice bar that's on a boat that's on the Thames that we stop off every time and get a cider. And then after that boat, we get into the area where the place is meant to be, because it's like an arch right on the edge of the River Thames. And so we start getting closer and the scaffolding just increases. There's like, we cycle a bit more, there's a bit more scaffolding. And by this point, I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat a bit to think, this is getting pretty uncomfortable now. There is a lot of scaffolding here. But it's all good. I'm sure it's been a while since I've been to London. I'm sure they're just fixing up this part of the Thames. You know, London always needs to be repaired some way, shape, or form. You know, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. And so we get to the point. We get to the entrance of this area, and it's closed off. It is not even like there is not even a sign or anything like that. The entrance to this entire area is just closed off, gated off. And at this point, I start panicking. I take like a huff of copium, just because I'm like, it's all good. There must be another entrance. I'm like, Sydney, we're taking the picture. There must be another entrance, because this is like an entire area of the Thames. This is an entire area that we're going to. I just think maybe this is just one gated entrance. Maybe there's another entrance where this part is being repaired and fixed and everything like that. There's probably another entrance. So we go around to the second entrance, gated, complete shut. I'm like, no. I refuse. I fucking refuse. We go to the third entrance, and it is just God just looking down and just being like, you stupid bitch. You stupid motherfucker. Why didn't you listen to me? And so I'm like, and so at this point, I'm the kind of guy, right? I try to plan things out, as you probably know. I try to plan things out. Sometimes, if it's something important, I always have a plan B. And then there's me, one of the most important points in my life, and I didn't have a plan B. I did not have a plan B. So here's me and Sydney in front of the third entrance, and I'm just like, I mean, like, that's how I felt. That's how I felt inside. Sydney told me that she's never seen me more panicked in my life, right? Outside, I try to play it cool. Outside, in my head, I was just like, oh, this is a shame. Right, Sydney? Inside, I was like, fuck, what do I do? Oh my God. And like, I was like, like how they say just before you die, like your life flashes before your eye. I swear to God, in that moment, like my life was flashing before my eye in front of Sydney. Like my entire brain was trying to reach the my mind was trying to reach any survival moments it can think of to try and salvage this moment. Like I was like going through the depths of my brain to try and figure out how I could salvage this. And a part of me was just like, you should delay it. This isn't the moment. Gone. Too many things have gone wrong now. This is not the moment. You can propose at a later date. And I remember, like, I look at Sydney, and I'm about to go. So date's over, you know. So I'm about to go. So that's a shame. Let's just go back and let's just chill. And I take a breath in to like say that. And Sydney, of course, because she already knows, she has this glare at me, and like. She didn't say a word, but I know she was saying, bitch, you are not saving it for another day. It's going to be today. Bitch, you will find a way to propose to me. and she didn't say a word to me, but I felt that. I felt that. Even though at the time I didn't know that she knew, at that time, that's what I felt, right? That this overwhelming sense of today has to be a day. And she can confirm that that's what she was like trying to convey to me in telepathy, right? She conveyed to me, and I was just like, shall we like keep cycling? Shall we keep cycling and see if there's just a nice place to take a picture to send off this last date? Because this is normally the point where we stop our day. We've never cycled further than this point. So at this point, I'm grasping at straws. I'm like praying to God. Normally, I mean, I'm a fucking Buddhist, I don't, we don't even have a God in Buddhism. But I was praying to whatever God would listen to me at that point, If I needed to be Christian for like a God to like look down on me and smile, I would have like converted there and then, And so we cycle past, and I'm just like praying, hoping that there was just going to be somewhere nice to take a picture, to take a photo, somewhere aesthetic looking. That's not just fucking scaffolding. That's not just fucking, like the pure, the pure scummy London that a lot of London is, unfortunately. And like, thankfully, after cycling an extra 10-15 minutes, we found a spot. And I'm just like, this is it. This is the spot. And Sydney, obviously, at this point, she just wants to get it over with. Sydney's just like feeling a sigh of relief at this point. And so finally, thank God, I like breathe a sigh of relief. I set up the camera. On the bike. I filmed a video, and I proposed. And the picture of that is online. I did post like a screen cap of that video online. The moment that I bent the knee and showed her the ring. And Sydney told me that even though she knew that this was coming from a mile away, the moment that it happened, she still was in such a big shock that she didn't know what to say, and she didn't know what to do. And I also messed up on what I thought I was going to say, because normally when you like propose, normally you like have a speech in your mind to be like, this has been like the most amazing, 5-6 years together. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. That like went out the fucking window. Like that, like. I remember it happening. I had that speech planned out, and then it just completely blanked in the moment. I just went on pure adrenaline, and I proposed to her. And somehow, with that many things going wrong, it still went completely right. And that's why I will say to any fellow lads who is ever looking to propose, if you're with the right lady, no matter how many things go wrong, it'll still go right. And that's the moral of that story.